All right, so today we're diving into some pretty wild stuff. We're talking about a single source here, a live stream recording. And it's full of accusations against Sean Diddy Combs. And honestly, it just kind of spirals outwards from there. Some big names in entertainment are getting pulled into this. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's not just gossip.
Yeah.
It's like this live stream is trying to say there's this system at play, one that protects the powerful and well. It leaves others to fend for themselves.
Okay, so to start off, the live stream talks about Diddy, who is actually in jail right now. Like, he's waiting for his trial. And there are a ton of lawsuits against him. People are saying they're victims of, let's just say, some shady business dealings.
Yeah, and they compare him to Jeffrey Epstein. Like, they're suggesting Diddy's hoping to use his money and connections to avoid real consequences.
That's a scary thought. So what are these shady dealings exactly? The live stream mentions things like fraud and all that, but they highlight this one case with a Jane Doe. Turns out, though, this Jane Doe was forced to reveal her identity. She's Anna Cain, wife of NHL player Evander Cain.
Yeah, the judge in that case said that anonymous lawsuits could be used to hurt someone's reputation unfairly. But legal experts are divided on whether that was the right call. It makes you think about how we balance protecting people from false accusations while also letting victims speak out without fear of retaliation.
Right, it's complicated. And speaking of staying quiet, what nothing. He's the one who said there's no party, like a P. Diddy party.
Yeah, that's definitely come back to haunt him, especially because he just stepped away from basketball for personal reasons. This live stream seems to imply that LeBron's absence is connected to Diddy and maybe some legal issues.
The timing is definitely suspicious. And then the live stream brings up this bidding war they say is happening on the dark web, with celebrities paying huge amounts of money to keep videos from Diddy's parties hidden.
For people who don't know, the dark web is basically this hidden part of the internet. It's used for illegal stuff a lot of the time. So this live stream is saying there's a whole market for keeping damaging information about celebrities under wraps.
Yeah, and they call out J-Lo specifically, saying she's accused of bribing the FBI to avoid getting arrested and to hide evidence. They even mentioned that shooting at Club New York back in 1999. Remember, J-Lo was there, got arrested, but then somehow didn't face charges.
Oh, yeah. And the live stream talks about a few different perspectives on that. Neaton Rubin, one of the victims, says that J-Lo lied in court to protect Diddy. And then there's Shinebarrow, who blames Diddy for his life being messed up. He says Diddy planned the whole thing.
But then we have Funk Flex, the DJ, who was there too. And he says Shine started shooting because he was scared. It just shows how even with one event, there can be so many different stories about what went down.
It really does. Makes you realize you can't just believe the first thing you hear.
Exactly. And then there's this whole other thing about a disturbing video. Apparently it features Hillary Clinton, and they call it Frazzled Drip. They don't go into details about what's in it, but it sounds bad.
It's like they're dropping this huge hint, but not giving us the whole story.
Right. And then on top of all that, there's Denzel Washington, who's suddenly all about religion now. He got baptized and became a minister, like, overnight.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. The live stream makes it seem like they don't trust his motives. Like, is it a real change, or is he trying to cover something up?
It makes you think. Okay, let's shift gears a little and talk about Lil King. He's a young rapper who is connected to Finesse Twin Times, and he's coming out with some heavy accusations.
Yeah, his story is really troubling, especially because it involves abuse and manipulation. And Lil King was a minor when a lot of this supposedly happened. He says Finesse Times kept him away from his family and basically forced him into crime.
He talks about being pressured to use drugs and gamble with other kids who were underage. He even says Finesse Times melted down a stolen chain to make a new one.
Oh, wow. And maybe the most serious claim is that Finesse 20 Times kidnapped him. Lil King says he's planning on going to the police about all of it.
This is intense. And we're just getting started with this live stream.
It really is a rabbit hole of accusations. Hard to know what to believe at this point.
For sure, but one thing's for sure, we've got a lot more to unpack here.
What's crazy is that Lil King speaking out like this, it's so different from all the silence around Diddy and everyone else. This young guy, who might be a victim himself, is going up against these powerful people.
It does feel like a David and Goliath story, and it makes you wonder what else is going on behind the scenes. Like, this live stream is revealing so much.
Exactly, and it's not just the accusations themselves. It's how the live stream connects these things that seem totally unrelated.
Yeah.
Diddy's legal troubles, LeBron disappearing J-Lo's alleged cover-up, even Denzel's sudden change.
Yeah, it creates this unsettling image of powerful people protecting each other. And anyone who speaks out gets shut down.
Right, and the fact that this is all coming out on a live stream is important. This isn't going through the regular media where things can be edited or spun. It's straight from the source, unfiltered.
It makes you wonder how much of what we see in the media is controlled to protect certain images.
Absolutely, and it shows how power dynamics are changing. Now people have their own platforms to share their stories and challenge those who used to be untouchable.
So going back to Diddy for a second, the live stream says his lawyers want a quick trial, which seems odd. Wouldn't they want more time to prepare?
Well, the live stream suggests Diddy's team is actually trying to limit the investigation. By speeding up the trial, they're hoping to stop the feds from looking into anything before 2008.
So it's a way to protect Diddy from even more serious charges.
Exactly. And the source claims Diddy was hesitant to cooperate at first, but then started naming names to maybe get a shorter sentence.
Oh, wow. So who did he implicate? Anyone we'd know?
The one that stands out is Leonardo DiCaprio. He's always had this clean image. But according to the live stream, Diddy says DiCaprio wasn't just at these parties. He was actually helping to plan some illegal stuff.
DiCaprio. Seriously, that's a huge accusation.
Yeah, and the source goes on to say that the police have found some shocking stuff about DiCaprio. Stuff that could really ruin his reputation.
Wow, this is getting deep. So if we believe this live stream, we're talking about a whole network of powerful people involved in fraud, bribery, and who knows what else.
It's definitely making us think about the entertainment industry in a different way. And the people we idolize.
It's like the source is saying fame and fortune don't equal being a good person, and sometimes the people we admire are capable of terrible things.
And the fact that these allegations are being made so publicly, without any fear of consequences, is really something. It shows how powerful these new media platforms can be.
Yeah.
And how they can be used to hold the powerful accountable.
So what do we do with all of this? Where do we go from here? I mean, it's just one live stream, but it's obvious there's more to this story.
It feels like we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg. This live stream is a crack in the facade, and it's starting to show all the darkness underneath.
So what are your final thoughts on all this? What stands out to you as the most disturbing or thought-provoking part?
It's heavy stuff, for sure. We went from these crazy parties to FBI bribes. From LeBron going silent to stories about stolen jewelry being melted down. What sticks out to you the most from all this? What part is the most troubling or, makes you ask the most questions?
You know what gets to me? It's the idea that there's this massive cover-up happening. The live stream keeps saying these accusations are just the beginning. It's like they're hinting at this huge network of powerful people. People who protect each other and silence anyone who tries to speak out.
Yeah, they keep saying things like, they don't want you to know. It makes you wonder how far this goes.
Right. And it makes you think about the media and how they shape what we believe. How much of what we see is just a carefully crafted image to protect reputations.
That's true. This live stream is so raw and unfiltered.
Exactly. It's totally different from the polished image we usually get from the media. It reminds us that we can't just take everything at face value. We have to think critically about what we're being told, especially when it comes to powerful people.
Absolutely. This deep dive shouldn't make you feel helpless, though. It should make you feel like you can question things, investigate, and hold people accountable.
I like that. Okay, before we finish up, I want to go back to something the live stream mentioned. That video, supposedly featuring Hillary Clinton, the frazzled Drick one, they didn't give us details, but they clearly think it's a big deal.
It's like that idea of Chekhov's gun, right? If you show a gun in the first act, it has to go off by the third. So what's going to happen when this video comes out, if he ever does? What will it reveal, and how will it affect all these investigations?
And how does it connect back to Diddy and this network he's supposedly part of? This story feels far from over.
It really does. This deep dive has taken us into some dark places, places of power and privilege. The question is, will anyone face consequences?
Only time will tell. But this live stream has definitely opened up a whole world of secrets, and the truth always has a way of coming out.
It does. We've had a lot to think about today, and it'll be interesting to see what happens next.
Yeah, thanks for helping us break all this down. And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep asking questions, stay curious, and don't be afraid to challenge what you're told.